All right, so thank you guys for your time and coming to the Module 151 Week 3 class meeting. Today, um, we are going to concentrate on something that y'all have read about or maybe currently reading about today or tomorrow in the chapters, and that is medical terminology. And the reason that I wanted to concentrate on that today is because, in my experience, that is what a lot of my students stress out the most over, um, is the medical terminology and finding these huge words when they're going through the scenarios and just not being able to even tell where to start looking for these words in a coding manual because you have no idea what they are, right? And that is one of the biggest issues I find for my students because we're not doctors. We have not been to medical school. We're not going to know these, 15 letter words. Half of them we can't even pronounce, right? No less figure out what they are. So we're going to talk about that some today. And you guys will also, as we go through the coding modules, which start next week in module 152 when we start that, you'll also, I try to break up some of the coding with terminology practice. So you guys will get some worksheets mixed in with your coding practice and stuff like that to help you remember the terminology and some of the prefixes, suffixes, etc. All right, so we're just going to do some quick announcements, medical terminology, and then some questions and concerns. Not a whole lot going on right now, guys. As far as the NCCT prep, we have had some feedback from some of our students who have taken the test, and not all of them. Most of the people that take the exam, as if you read the material we have on the prep page, you go over those questions, most of the students are fine. Some of them have been coming back lately and saying that we may need to revamp or get some updated study material, that their exam was looking a little bit different than some of the stuff that we had went over. So we are looking into that right now. We're looking into getting new practice exams and current study materials and all that stuff updated. So as soon as we have that updated material and we're back doing the sessions, I will let you guys know. I don't imagine it'll take more than a few weeks for us to get this going. So hopefully that's the case. But I'll let y'all know as things progress. All right. As y'all know, our e-learning system, a lot of y'all have errors and problems uploading, and there's times where it's down and you can't save anything and you can't see anything. You can't get logged in. So Unitech is doing its best to alleviate that issue, and we are switching to a new system. Now, everything, as far as I know, as far as I've been told so far, is going to look the same for you guys. It is just the back end, our data servers, processing company, and that kind of thing are going to change. But as far as what what you guys look at every day and how you find your assignments, that should not change. But in the process of switching systems and switching servers and things like that, there's going to be a window of time where it's going to be completely shut down. And we call that blackout, because the system is completely unavailable to everyone, to faculty, to students. It's completely offline and just not available for anyone. So we had a similar situation to this last year where we basically just emailed you guys all the assignments for the week and y'all emailed them back to us, because you'll still be able to get into your books and stuff, but just not the My Unitech site, the e-learning site. So we'll get more info. Those dates have not been confirmed. They're looking at late June, early July right now for that time period, but it has not been confirmed. As y'all know, as soon as I know things, I'll let y'all know. So as soon as we get dates confirmed and we have a plan of action, I'll clue you guys into how that's going to work. But just to know that it is coming up. All right, so this module 151 is going to end on Monday. This is coming Monday, day 16 of 16. You have your final exam, which I say final exam. It's not really a final exam because it doesn't encompass the whole module. It's just on, these last three chapters, 5, 6, and 7. And that's on Monday. Now, module 152 will start the very next day. Okay. And the first, I want to say chapter 1, we're going to switch books. If you guys, when you get into 152, go to the welcome page. There's a picture of the cover of the book. It's not open yet. It will get open sometime over the weekend. So for right now, just concentrate on finishing up 151 and get with me if you needed things reopened, and all that stuff. And retakes on the exam. I think I'm pretty well caught up on the grading, except for this week's assignments. So I'll probably be reaching out over the weekend to those of you who are behind and being like, hey, want me to reopen some stuff? So just be aware of that. If you're behind, now's the time to get with me, okay? And again, 152, which that's going to be the start of coding. Fun. That starts on Tuesday. And let's see. All right, so getting into medical terminology. Medical terminology is a specialized vocabulary that has its roots in Greek and Latin word components. Professionals in the healthcare industry use this terminology to communicate with each other. By applying the process of decoding or recognizing the word components and their meanings, you'll be able to interpret literally thousands of medical terms. By using combining forms, suffixes, and prefixes, you can break down medical terms and easily learn their meaning. This chapter presents a review of medical terminology to help you fully communicate as a healthcare professional. And again, this is what a lot of us struggle with the most because we didn't go to medical school. But they're right. If you learn the different components, you'll start to recognize things when you're sounding out words, you're reading it, words. You'll start to recognize suffixes and prefixes and root words and things like that. And that'll help you break it down and figure out what it means. Like, okay, I love this example. The word terminology itself. You break it down. Term, meaning a word, and ology, the study of. Terminology, the study of words. So, let's take a look at some prefixes. These are the beginning of some of these really long words, word parts that sometimes appear at the beginning of a term. Prefixes also modify the meaning of the combining form. Y'all give me one quick second to go quiet down the back. So sorry about that. All right, so they usually are used to further define the absence, location, number, quantity, or state of the term. And the little chart that I have to the side can be found on page 113 in your textbook. And y'all will recognize some of these as we go through them. If I can see all this stuff. Okay, intra, meaning within. All right, like intramuscular, in the muscle. You'll start to recognize this stuff. Neo, meaning new. Like a neoplasm, a tumor. It's a new growth. All right. Par, near or beside. Para, near, beside, or abnormal. Per, meaning through. Let's see. Peri, meaning surrounding or around. Poly, meaning many, much, excessive, or frequent. There's post, meaning after or behind. Pre, meaning before or in front of, like pre-diabetic. I mean, that's an easy one, but that's before you're actually a diabetic. You're in the beginning stages of becoming a diabetic if you're pre-diabetic, right? Sub, box if you don't move. Sub meaning under or below. And one that I love to use for that is subcutaneous. Sub meaning under, below. Cutane, and actually cutane, we'll see that on another page, means skin. That's a root word that means skin. So subcutaneous is, under or below the skin. And trans meaning through or across. And of course, one of the biggest things in the news right now is all the stuff about the what's going on in the transgender community. So transgender meaning across genders, cross genders, right? All right, so some common suffixes, word parts that appear at the end of a term. Suffixes are used to modify the meaning of the combining form. And when they talk about a combining form, all that is basically is a root word. It's what's in the middle. And sometimes you don't have a middle. There's some real short words that you have. They, throw a prefix and a suffix together and you get something else. But these are some common ones from the pathology section. And again, y'all, this is just a short list, what I've got here. The full list in the book is much, much longer. And I'm going to also tell y'all somewhere else that y'all can find these or lists similar to this in your CPT manuals while you're working. Okay. Let's see. For suffixes, algia, meaning pain. And again, these come at the end of words. Like fibromyalgia, right? Pain in the fibroids. Celi means herniation. Dyna, or dynia, means pain. Emia, blood condition like anemia, right? Ia, meaning condition. Itis, inflammation, which that's a very common one for diseases and stuff. Let's see, tonsillitis, myelitis. There's so many, mastitis. There's so many itises, and it's inflammation of different body parts. Malacia is softening, megaly, enlargement, and oma, which like we talked about a second ago. Oma, tumor or a mass, like a carcinoma or a melanoma. One of those. I'm talking about tumors and cancer. And these are found on page 111 in the textbook. All right, and then the combining forms, the root words, the stuff that's usually in the middle. We're not going to go through all of these, but look over them, guys. They are the subjects of most terms. They consist of the word root with its respective combining vowel, okay? And let's just talk about, let's pick out a few of them. Like an easy one. Cardio, with the O, cardiovascular, cardiology, cardiomyopathy. There's so many, and that has to do with the heart, right? Like we talked about subcutaneous a little while. There's cutane, meaning skin. Let's see, derm also means skin, like dermatology, dermoplasty, all these different things. Electro, meaning electricity, electroshock, electric current, all kinds of different stuff. Let's see, gastro, meaning of the stomach, like gastritis, right? A condition of the stomach, inflammation of the stomach. Musculo, meaning muscle. Myo also means muscle. Neurology, study of the nerves. Because ology, even though it wasn't on that thing, means study of, okay? And path is disease. So pathology, study of diseases, right? And then ped for child, pediatrics, all the fun stuff. And again, y'all guys, this is not the full list. There are so many more. But one of the places that you can find them, and I think it's page XX in the beginning of your CPT manual, you will find there's literally several pages that they put in there for medical terminology to help you find these break down these different terms while you're working. So if you're having to code something and you're coming up with a diagnosis that you just have no idea what it is, or procedure that you have no idea what it is, you can pick out the different parts of it, flip to the front of the manual, and it'll help you figure it out. And also, one of the things that helps me a lot is when I can figure out like the root of the word or something like that. If I can figure out the body part, there are so many anatomical illustrations in the manuals that show you the breakdown of the different body parts. There's some really cool ones with the musculoskeletal system, your vein system. It breaks it on down and labels everything for you. You've really got a great set of tools in the manual to help you out. You don't need a medical degree to do this job or to work in a medical office or anything like that. All right. But that is the main thing, was I wanted to get with you guys about the medical terminology, explain to y'all what prefixes and suffixes and root words were, and how to kind of break those down, give y'all a few examples. But the main thing is tell y'all where to find those resources. Your books are a great resource. Would even go so far as to print those pages out if you can. Take screenshots of those lists so you can reference them easy. But again, there are those ones in your manuals, and you get to keep your manuals and take them with you to work when you go. So that'll help you out also. There's something else I wanted to say to you and I just went blank. Any questions about medical terminology, prefixes, suffixes, anything like that? Root words, how to pick them apart? That's a good one. We'll practice some more of that once we get into the coding and we start going through stuff. Because we'll go through coding examples together, so we'll read scenarios together, and there's going to be words that we don't know together. So we'll figure that out, and y'all will see how that process works. But for now, any questions about that or anything pertaining to chapters 5 through 7 that y'all had questions about?
Pharmacogenomics. Did I pronounce that right?
What now?
It's one of our vocabulary words from Group B. It says it's pharmacogenomics. It's how it's spelled.
Cogenomics? Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, because it tripped me up looking at that word. I did not know how to pronounce it to my neighbor. I was like, I don't even know.
That sounds right.
So on words that
dang close
are hard to pronounce like that, is there any reference or source that we can go to for the correct pronunciation so we don't sound like, uneducated fools on a job or something?
Funny enough, Google is your best asset.
Okay.
Google is your best thing for that. It'll break down. It'll actually, if you type in the word and maybe type define in front of it, it'll actually break it down for you into parts and give you the phonetic.
Right. I didn't even think about that. Okay. That'll work. Let's see.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, they'll give you actually the phonetic breakdown of it to where you can sound it out perfectly.
Okay.
Perfectly. And also, I've done this before, and this will make you an asset in your office. Google Translate. If y'all don't, I know like this much Spanish, right? But I have patients that are only Spanish speaking. And if I have to call and ask them a question, there's a language barrier, right? So if you get on Google Translate, you can type in, it'll let you type the question that you want to ask, and it'll put it in a sentence form for you so you can read it. Now, if you have no experience with a language whatsoever, you're probably not going to know how to read it really. but you can also get them to speak it. You can get Google to speak it sometimes, and it'll kind of show you how to say it. There was one lady, we needed to send her a bill, and I needed to know her apartment number, and I was like, you know, doctor, doctoro, something crazy, and it, you know, numero de apartamento.
Mm.
I need your number of your apartment, um, and stuff like that. So that can help you. That can help you. It helped me, that day. So, I say use every resource that you can find. Everything. Work smart,
Okay.
not hard.
I hear
I
that.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
As for like our grades from the previous modules and stuff, like, can we see like something like a report card kind of, or it
Y'all
doesn't show
should
it
be
like that?
able to see that. It should be, when you sign into e-learning, there should be maybe in your academics tab, in the menu to the left, something like that, you should have a grade book. Like,
Yeah, the grade book
do
shows
you not
the
see a general
current.
grade book?
Yeah, I see the grade book, but it shows just the current grade that we have. Well, that I have. It doesn't show like the previous grades or.
But like not in the course. Before you get into the course, before you click into the module, look at the menus before you click into the module and see what they are.
Yeah, I did. It only shows like one grade. I have to
I'm
take
not
a picture
sure.
of it and show it to you.
Yeah,
when
send
I
me a picture of what it looks like on your side when you're
Okay.
not in the module and just in your academics by itself. Yeah, text me that if you will, so we can get it figured out. Because I have a lot of y'all that want to see that and are not
Where
finding.
did you say that was, Ms. Brandy, in academics?
I think it should be. I think in
Okay.
academics. Yeah.
Okay, because I see it under academics and then it says MB, so it says each course and it just shows the grade. Are we supposed to be able to click on it and it shows every grade for every
Assignment?
assignment or no?
No.
Okay.
Lord,
I mean, it
no.
does. That's what I'm saying. It does. Whenever
No,
you
think
click
so.
on, if you're just in academics on the homepage
Mhm.
and it has a list of all the courses, you can go and click on the course and it shows you every grade for that course.
Cool.
I didn't know that, but you just said it, so I was trying to explain it to the
Awesome.
girl that just asked,
No,
so
that's
maybe she can
perfect.
go back and look at it. Okay.
Hey, Ms. Brandy, I don't know if this is it for everybody else, and if this is what they're talking about or not, but I'm on the student tab. When I logged in, it just brought me up to the student tab,
Uh-huh.
and it shows me first 6-month term. It's got all my courses. But I've only got a grade for 151 and 156.
That's correct.
Nothing for 157 or 8.
151, 157, and 158 is not showing.
No,
No.
it's got 2 lines for 2 dashes instead of a grade.
Okay, how do y'all see that? Where do y'all go to again?
When
I
you
just went
log
to
into the homepage.
myunitech.edu. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I went to myunitech.ta.edu,
Uh-huh.
signed in on the homepage, and it brings me up to the students tab.
And mine, I'm on a computer, and then when you log into my Unitech, it's got several different tabs. It says home, academic, students, finances, admissions, my pages. And when you click on academics, it'll show you all the courses you've taken, which I don't have a grade for 152, 157, and 158, but everything else is showing my grades.
Let's see. Have you been through 152, Courtney?
I would think so. I mean, billing, coding, and procedures. I don't know. No, it says June 6th through July 19th. So I guess I
Yeah,
haven't.
so that's the next module.
Okay. But 57 and 58 we have or no?
We just
Yeah.
went through those. Yeah, y'all should have,
Okay.
should be showing grades. And if both of
No,
y'all
I
are
don't have
not
a grade for
showing,
either one of those.
that clues
57,
me into
58.
there's something on our side that's not right as to why y'all
Okay.
are not seeing your grades. So let me get with the registrar and see what I can do. Because with we have an interim registrar right now because our other one had been sick and went out on maternity leave and all that stuff. So it may very well be that the ball got dropped because 157, and remember 158 was only 5 days long. So
Mhm.
it wouldn't surprise me if the ball got dropped in that time span. time span, and that's why y'all can't see your grades. So
Should
let
we
me
have a
dig
grade
into
for
that.
orientation?
You should. I don't think you get a grade for that, but
Okay.
it does have to be completed. But I don't think
Okay, I
it's
don't even
not
remember
part
if
of
I
the
did it, but
curriculum.
it doesn't show anything. It's just a dash as well.
Right. That one
Okay.
is not a big deal because it's not part of the
Okay.
curriculum. It's just like
Okay.
a welcome to Unitech type deal.
Okay.
But yeah, thank y'all for letting me know that and let me dig into it. $157 and $158. Yeah, because those should definitely be in there and be showing by now. For sure. Yeah. Awesome. Good information today, guys. Anything else? Any other questions, concerns? Other than the use? Nope.
Nothing for me,
Okay.
surprisingly, huh?
That's
No,
all I can think of now.
look, Courtney, you ask a lot of the same questions that a lot of other people have, and they just aren't comfortable enough speaking up. So don't ever stop asking questions.
That's fine. It's okay.
No, I like it. I like it. All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else for me, that is it. Again, your exam that's due on Monday is already open for y'all. Everything for Monday is already open. I did that before I went out on break. But so y'all have a wonderful weekend. Oh, there was another announcement I had. We will not have class on June 19th. In honor of Juneteenth, we are out that day. I'll put a formal announcement together and put it in news and announcements, but I wanted to just let y'all know that ahead of schedule so y'all can make whatever kind of plans, for a long weekend, whatever that y'all want to do. All right. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. And again,
Thank you,
thank you
Ms.
for your
Grandi. You too.
time. Bye. Thanks, Ryan.
Yep.